David, I've noticed that the term gaslighting now seems to be used too much. Has it become problematic or even meaningless? Yeah, this is a good question. What's going on with the term gaslighting is similar to what went on with regressive left a few years ago, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Gaslighting is when you manipulate someone to get them to question their own sanity or whether they can even trust just the most basic facts they thought they believed. It's sort of like, you at a very mundane level, you ask your significant other never to wear shoes in the house 50 times, and then they wear shoes in the house, and then you say, we've talked about this so many times, and they say, we have? I don't, talked about it when? When was that? I don't remember. Right? Just like, wait, did I imagine the 50 conversations? Just a mundane example. But it can happen with a whole bunch of other issues, political, social, cultural, etc. We are seeing something happen with the term gaslighting that's similar to regressive left. There was a very, very short period, and we talked about this in a long form piece about the regressive left, where the term regressive left really meant someone who is ostensibly on the left, but who is failing to really do it. For example, sometimes a self-described leftist will support very authoritarian policy or authoritarian elected officials or world leaders. And we would say this is regressive left in the sense that they claim to be left, but they're really just authoritarian. Okay, yeah, that it had some kind of meaning there. It became a catch-all for people who we disagree with, and it was used by the right and by the left, and it became essentially meaningless. I stopped using it. I used it very, very briefly to describe a very specific thing. Racism is another one where there's this trend that we're starting to see where someone will identify something they believe is racist. They will be called racist for noticing it. Sometimes you will hear this from the right. Well, they will say, you noticing race so much is a sign that you are the racist. And a very similar dynamic is happening now with gaslighting. If you say something is gaslighting, you will sometimes be called a gaslighter. You will say, you're gaslighting people by claiming that gaslighting is taking place. You are manipulating, you are virtue signaling by using that term. And a very, very similar kind of vicious circle starts. And it does devalue the term in a significant way. So I think there is still value. Regressive left is now in the trash as a term. I still think that gaslighting has value, and there is still real objective empirical meaning that is useful to us in describing, there was a lot of gaslighting by the Trumpian right about just telling people Trump said, what you were seeing and hearing, you cannot believe. That's a form of gaslighting. And I think it still has value, but they're making every effort to devalue it, calling the use of the term an actual gaslight in and of itself. And all of these terms have a shelf life. That's the reality. So let me know your experiences with the term, either using it or having it used on you or having it used merely to muddle up conversations. We have a great bonus show for you today. It arguably is the best bonus show in the last 24 hours. From what I've heard from Pat, it's a very good one. Get instant access by becoming a member at joinpakman.com, or get on my newsletter, because Monday, Memorial Day, we are doing a one-day membership special. We are just blowing memberships out of here. We're going to just be dumping huge amounts of memberships at a really low rate. It's going to be like a cash cow. It's a lost leader, as the retail giants would say. Just get on my mailing list at davidpakman.com, and then you will be notified on Memorial Day. You'll know how to get this membership special. It'll be a beautiful thing. And before you know it, you'll be joining us on the bonus show.